What's up, lovelies? So today's video is going to be about side hustles. Side Hustle Monday. Okay. These are definitely side hustles that I've done in college that have helped me get through some stressful times, man. When I just was pinching for pennies, didn't have money, didn't know where I was going to have rent. As I'm working full-time, taking 14 to 16 credits a semester. And you know, you're a student full-time and you're trying to make good grades, you can't really be working on like that, otherwise something's gonna suffer. A teacher once had told me there's a triangle. It's either your social life wins and your schoolwork and your sleep fails, or you're sleeping a lot and your social life fails and your schoolwork fails, or you're working a lot. So and you know, so it's like you have to find a perfect balance. And he said the way the triangle works is you can efficiently get two things and then one kind of suffers a bit, but if you can find the two that work well with the balance, then you're winning. First things first, DoorDash. I knew nothing about DoorDash. I was just like, oh, it's a delivery thing. How do I do that? How do I get into it? So I had a friend who's just like, he is so brave and courageous, and me, I was more so like, oh, very safe, very particular, and he definitely helped me out of my own self-sway, just spread my horizons. And DoorDash was like the first side hustle. The application for DoorDash was super fast. I remember I downloaded the app for DoorDash, like the driver app. They made me do this little application. I did it literally on my phone. Took literally probably about 20 minutes tops. Uploaded my driver's license, ID, everything to them. In a few days I was processed. I think 3 to 5 days I was already processed. And I was able to DoorDash and literally go to a restaurant and get somebody's food and take it to their house. So crazy. They do a background check in those few days and all that's good stuff to ensure that you're safe and that the other parties are safe as well, and that you don't have like a criminal background. You're not just going around stealing hamburgers. And I have like a list here to remind me of everything that I want to say, because this is a lot of good stuff we had to get through, guys. Okay, so when I did DoorDash, it was literally in 2020 during the pandemic. So I was like, I literally got laid off from my job at work. I was doing like a work-study job. I literally got laid off. I was like, well, how am I going to pay rent now? How am I going to eat? I was literally living paycheck to paycheck. And it was okay because I was in school and my social life wasn't that big of a deal for me during the time I was a chemistry major. So it was like I was just buckled down and into my books anyway. I wasn't really looking to going out and buying a bunch of clothes and stuff. I was just living a very limited lifestyle. When I did DoorDash, they gave me free delivery bags, like a small one and then a bigger one, to keep the food cold or hot, whatever temperature. It helps to retain that temperature. They gave me a red card so that you can go and pay with the red card whenever you have a condition order for the red card. So they'll tell you when to use the red card, and they just have money on it that you can only use for specific orders, and so that you don't have to pay out of pocket. DoorDash pays for that. Hand sanitizer and masks. I was very happy about that because it's the pandemic and you want to be safe, make sure other people are safe, yada yada yada. And the same thing pretty much with GrubHub. It's like the same kind of deal. DoorDash is more like I can just it'll ask you a few questions. Do you have your red car? Do you have gas in your car? You know, full tank ready to go? Do you have your bags ready? Just all those things. Before you get started, you check all those boxes and then you can just start. You can select your area that you want to DoorDash in. My area that I always DoorDash in, it has a lot of food and a lot of students, so I'm like, yeah, this is where I want to be. This is where the money is. So I did that. Then I was just ready to go. With GrubHub, you kind of have to like schedule times and days to do it. Like if you wanted to do it today, you would just schedule for like 10 to 12 or something like that. It's more in blocks, and both of them work the same way. They locate the nearest order or the nearest restaurant and to the nearest DoorDash or GrubHubber, and it connects them with the smartest route. So that's basically what the app does. Makes food get to people faster. Oh, promotions. Oh my god. Promotions is a big, huge deal. Because with promotions, you make the most money. You make your buck work for you, okay? So I'm gonna list basically one of my paychecks. I made $800 in 2 days doing DoorDash. A promotion is basically certain days they have deals for you. So if you get, like, say you get 15 orders before 12 o'clock, they'll give you extra money on top of your tips that you already made. The most money, and you're making the best deal for yourself, and you can get more money in less time doing it this way. So one of the promotions was, I think it was like, you can make $600 if you do 25 deliveries in a certain amount of time. And I think they gave me like 3 days to do it, which you can definitely do that. So I did 12 deliveries one day, and then the next day I had to do 12 more, and it took forever. I was working my butt off. I started in the morning, didn't get done until like 1 a.m. That was insane. With the app, I've noticed a few things that you can tweak to kind of make things work for your buck. I don't accept DoorDashes under $5, and I don't go over 3 miles, because at that point I feel like I'm spending more gas to get to this place. And I always do the subtraction. I'm like, okay, I made this amount of money, but how much did I have to pay in order to put gas in my car for this? So I subtract the amount that I made that day from all the expenses. Maybe I had to park somewhere and I had to pay for parking. Subtract that expense and to see how much I actually made. And so whenever I put gas in my car, I'm always making sure that I'm making twice as much than the gas that I put in my car. So at least I am earning my money back from that day, if anything. Never earn less than the amount that you put in. So that's a big thing for whether it's DoorDash or GrubHub or Instacart, whatever you're doing, Amazon Flex, whatever you're doing, that's what you kind of want to think about. Because the goal is to make money at the end of the day. Also, a huge advancement for me was, at one point I didn't have a car, so I was DoorDashing with my bike, which is fine if you live close in the city, close enough to the restaurants, and you're like a fast biker. I was slow. I was so slow, and at one point I was like, this isn't really safe. I was like in a bad neighborhood, and I had a delivery, and I was having trouble finding the address, and there was like a group of guys just standing around, and I'm like, it was getting dark, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't safe. This is gonna be the last time I do this. So then the next time that I did DoorDash, and I gave up on it because I only made $13 that day, and it took me forever to get to the person. And then I kind of gave up on DoorDash for a while, and then I started back up when I got my car. And let me tell you, that's when the big bucks, baby, started rolling in. I would definitely say a car is better. Also, I want to note that these are all jobs found during the pandemic, which is like a crucial time because so many people were losing jobs, unable to work, and these companies were still hiring and still supporting the community. The next one that I'm going to talk about is TaskRabbit. So if you don't know what TaskRabbit is, it's basically like you're showcasing your skills and making money off of your natural giving skills. So say you're good at mounting TVs, or say you're good at putting up wallpaper or interior decorating or babysitting. You can advertise all of those different skills and put your amount that you want to get paid for that. So the app has a set amount that you should get starting out based on your professionalism or your experience doing a certain thing and how many times you've done it. And then after you've done so many tasks, you can actually upgrade your pay, and it'll show up in the system as this is the amount that we decided that this person should be hired for this task based on their experience and their time. So that's one of the things. So I started out $15 an hour for like certain things like cleaning, interior design, and now I'm making like $40 an hour to clean people's houses, which is really great, and I don't have to work that many hours to get what I want. And I love TaskRabbit. So far my experiences have been really cool. With cleaning and stuff like that, it gets a little weird because you're like going into a stranger's house and you really don't know what to expect until you get there, but pretty much all of my experiences have been pretty pleasant. So for TaskRabbit, they do charge you a fee to get started with the application, But I think the application was super fast. I mean, not as fast as DoorDash one. I think I had to wait like a week or two to get the TaskRabbit thing going, and I had to pay a fee of $32. And at first I was like, oh, this is kind of shady. I don't know how to feel about that, but that's just their, you know, upfront fee. So for TaskRabbit, I will put the amounts that I made in total up, but it was the best $32 I've ever made, because when I couldn't do DoorDash or deliveries, I was just like, wow, how am I going to make money? I was researching the internet, and I didn't know what to do, and then I came upon TaskRabbit, actually from other YouTubers that were explaining it, and I'm thinking, oh, this is just like another like thing that they're trying to hype up, but it's the real deal. You can really make some good money doing TaskRabbit. I highly recommend for college student. I met someone who was also doing TaskRabbit one time when I was helping an organization label containers and stuff, and he told me he's been doing it for 4 years. If I knew about this job 4 years ago, that would have been great, you know, just really great. And like, the thing about all these jobs is that you can do all of these jobs on your own time. You pick your own schedule. You cannot beat that. In college, you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have days when you know that you need to study more, buckle down. And when you have like a consistent job schedule, it interferes with your learning and your ability to do other things and be flexible with your schedule. Sometimes you just want to have time for yourself, and you deserve to have that time. So work on the days that you want, you know, and even if you can only work on the weekends, which is what I did. I did have another job. I was a UPS worker at the time, and on the weekends I would do TaskRabbit, and then during the week I would do school, go straight to UPS, do TaskRabbit on the weekends, and I was super busy. And on the side of that, I also have my business that I was doing on the side as well. So it's like college is really about learning to manage your time well, and learning that your time is pricey, honey. Your time is pricey. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about Prime Worker with Whole Foods. So this is another kind of like warehouse package handler job, but it's with Whole Foods. So you're basically in this warehouse that looks like a grocery store. It's so weird. You're literally rolling around a buggy. You're getting paid $15 an hour to walk around with a buggy and to package people's food for them. And you are not delivering it. You're just packaging the food, and then the Amazon Flex people, which is another thing that you can get into, another app, will deliver the food for them. But everything is delivered is time sensitive because you're delivering eggs and milk and stuff. So they put it in the freezer. So we package everything on the list. We get a list of everything we need. We package everything in that list, double check it, enter any substitutions that we made, so let the customer know. And then we put everything in a refrigerator, everything that needs to be refrigerated, and waits for the Amazon Flex people. The Amazon Flex people are waiting outside ready to go. They ship it to the people's houses, and boom. And that job was literally the best job, one of the best ones, because I only needed to work there one day out of the month. And that was the only requirement to keep the job. So I could have a whole full-time job and then work at this job maybe one weekend and weekend a month and keep this job. So this is like literally the best job you can have when you're in school. You can literally pick your own schedule. So if I want to work one day this week, I can work one day this week, and then next week I can work, you know, up until the max hours that I can work at that job. And I can work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as long as the hours are in agreement with, you know, their terms. You can't beat that. You cannot beat that. Especially as a college student, when there's breaks and you have time in between, you know, school and stuff, and you want to make extra cash for like the holidays to buy people gifts and stuff, do that. Literally. I wish someone would have told me about these jobs starting college, because these are game changers. And I just want to let you know, you all know all the different ways that you can make money. Don't never stop believing. The sky's the limit. Just don't give up. Whatever your passion is, just keep going. All right, thank you, lovelies.